Okay. Good evening. This meeting, right, starting out badly. Okay, the Eastham Conservation Commission will hold a hybrid public meeting on Tuesday, July 22nd, 2025 at 6 p.m. pursuant to Massachusetts General Law, MGL, Chapter 30A, Sections 18 to 25, Open Meeting Law, MGL Chapter 131, Section 40, Wetlands Protection Act, and Chapter 155 of the Code of the Town of Eastham, Eastham Wetlands Protection Bylaw. And let's see. This meeting is being broadcast on Public Access Channel 8 and streamed on the town website at www.eastham-ma.org and on YouTube. It will be rebroadcast on Channel 8 and meeting videos will be available on YouTube. Before we begin, a quick reminder. While our meetings are relatively informal, the Commission uses a simplified version of Robert's Rules. The chair runs the meeting and everyone should speak through the chair after being recognized. Please raise your hand if you wish to speak. We allow discussion between commissioners, staff, and applicants and may extend that to abutters. For NOIs and RDAs, the applicant will present first, followed by discussion with the commission and staff. Once has slowed, abutters will have a chance to speak, followed by a chair may set time limits if needed. Please keep your microphone muted unless it is your turn to speak, and let the chair know if you plan to record the meeting. Most importantly, please be respectful of others so we can keep the meeting productive and focused. I'm going to take attendance, but Janet, you have a question?
I'm having difficulty hearing you, Karen.
Okay.
I don't know whether anyone else has that problem or it's just me.
Yeah, you're clear, but you're very quiet.
Okay, my AirPods cut out, so you're not getting my microphone from that. Okay, is that better?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so attendance. Janet Benjamin,
Here?
Joanne Cossett,
Here.
Greg Douglas,
Here.
Chuck Wagner is off tonight, and Karen Strauss, I am here. Okay, first on our agenda is public comment. Is there anybody on the meeting who wishes to speak briefly to the commission about something that is not on the agenda? And seeing no hands. First up tonight is a continuation of request for determination of applicability filed by Gail Bedoukian. Applicant proposes to flush cut 23 invasive black pine trees and planting beach grass at property located at 18 Horton Way, map 07, parcel 493A, and the applicant has requested a continuation until August 12th, 2025. So if somebody would make a motion to accept that continuation request.
Move to accept the continuation request to August 12th.
And a second.
Second.
Janet?
Yes.
Joanne?
Yes.
Greg?
Yes.
And I'm a yes. Next, we have certificate of compliance filed by Craig and Lynn Perry, SE 19-1909, for the removal and replacement of beach stairs at property located at 15 Sunset Lane, map 13, parcel 138. And someone here to speak on that? I think we do. Matt?
This is Matt Lehman with Strong Tree. I was the engineer on the project. I'm just here to, if there's any questions or anything like that, but it was a very simple project that the as-built, I believe, was submitted and everything was built almost exactly according to the plan.
Okay, and I know that Greg and Janet and Alex are out for a site visit. Any comments from that? Greg?
Look good.
Yeah, we took a look at the stairs. They look good, and any potential damage, during construction seemed to be remediated. So I think they look good.
Okay. I do have a question on your as-built certificate, you do have a copyright statement, and I'm wondering about that.
What are you wondering?
Well, this is part of a application in a regulatory process, and therefore it's part of the public record, and it can be, no matter what the copyright says, it legally can be reproduced, distributed, or used by the commission, the town, and the public as allowed by the public records request. So,
Yep.
And that supersedes the,
Well, I don't believe it says that reproduction is prohibited, just that all rights are reserved. Is that not true?
well, I don't think that's necessarily true because the public records law,
Well, I'm just
does
asking, does it
require-
say that reproduction is prohibited?
no, it says all rights reserved, but all, okay, it's just, I've never actually seen that on a filing before. So it seems a little unusual given that the very nature of a document submitted to a
I
through a
understand.
regulatory
It's
process.
just part of our title block. This is actually the first time anyone's asked about that.
Well, I guess I read more thoroughly, maybe, I don't know. Okay, but I'm just gonna want us to make a note of that, and if I think we might just include notice of the public records law in our motion as well. So it looks like there's no issues with this, and we do have staff recommends that we have ongoing conditions for number 22, vegetation management and restoration, number 23, no fertilizer or chemical biocides, and number 25, maintenance. That sound right? Alex?
Those recommendations in the event that the property owner would like to plant additional beach grass and perform any maintenance on the stairs going forward.
Okay. Alex?
Yes,
Oh, you just sound kind of funny in my ears.
I'm sorry.
Okay, so if we could have a motion to approve the certificate of compliance for SE 19-1909 with ongoing conditions number 22, 23, and 25. And just note that this, in spite of the copyright statement, that this is a public, the as-built is a public document subject to Massachusetts public records law.
So moved.
And is there a second?
Second.
Greg?
Yes.
We're voting. Okay. Janet?
Yes.
Joanne?
Yes.
And I am a yes. Okay, it feels really weird to only be calling 4 names.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's been approved. Next up, we have a certificate of. Sorry, I momentarily lost my agenda. It's going to be that kind of night, I can tell. Okay, next is a certificate of compliance filed by Timothy Baker, SE 19-1878, for the relocation of an existing single-family dwelling with an elevated deck at property located at 305 Nauset Light Beach Road, map 23, parcel 018. And if you guys were out there for a site visit, any questions, comments from the commission? No. Lynn, anything you want to share?
I think it's pretty straightforward. The property's being donated to the Eastham Conservation Foundation because it's eroding faster than it would have been worth to move the house back. And condition of that was to remove the house, the foundation, the septic system, the well, and close out the order of conditions. And last time I went there, it looked great. Hopefully it looked great today. And we're just trying to close it out so he can donate it.
And anything from the commissioners? And anything from Alex? Alex, go ahead.
Just note that the septic and the well will be removed under an RDA that the commission approved about a month and a half ago. This order covered the removal of the foundation. So currently there is no dwelling on the property. It's been cleaned up. As the commission saw this morning, it looked pretty good.
Okay. So if we could have a motion, Janet, go ahead.
No, I was going to say what Alex said. The septic is on a separate filing.
Okay, so if we could have a motion to approve SC 19-1887 for a certificate of compliance.
Move to approve SC 19-1878 for a certificate of compliance.
And I need a second.
Second?
Greg,
Yes.
Joanne,
Yes.
Janet,
Yes.
and I'm a yes. So we are done there. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next is an administrative review filed by Carl Wolf. Applicant proposes to add a small fenced-in area in the backyard of property located at 80 Dire Prince Road, map 19, parcel 100. And is the applicant here?
Christy Wolf is. My husband is a pilot and is traveling tonight, so I'm here on his behalf.
Okay, thank you. It seems to me like this is a very straightforward application. Is there anything you want to tell us about it that wasn't in your filing?
No, I think it is straightforward. Pro Fence was out there, I believe, this morning, setting up flags so your site people could review it. And yeah.
Okay. I think my only concern is that the application itself did not include the requirement that the fence be above the ground and not touching.
Could
We
you
like to
repeat
have some.
that? I'm sorry.
We generally permit fences in resource areas so that there is a gap between the bottom of the fence and the ground for wildlife to transit.
Yes, the person from Pro Fence told us about that.
Okay.
So
Alex?
we're good with that.
Okay. Alex?
I thought from the filing,
Yeah.
at least from the picture that was submitted, it looked like there was a gap between the
And
bottom of the fence and the ground.
It wasn't clear to me, so I just want to make sure that we include that in the permit.
Understood.
Okay.
Any questions, comments from the commission? Okay, so if we could have a motion to approve the fence with a gap for wildlife access between the bottom and the ground.
Move to approve the fence with a gap between the bottom of the fence and the ground for wildlife access.
Is there a second? Okay. Joanne,
Yes.
Greg,
Yes.
Janet,
Yes.
and I am a yes. Okay, and I forgot to ask if the person at town hall had any comments, but we don't usually do that on an AR, but I apologize.
Just, town hall, the gentleman is left. His
Okay,
was addressed.
okay. All right. Next up, we have I am slow tonight. Next up, we have a continuation of notice of intent filed by Michael Nargi and Carrie Picard. Applicant proposes to demolish the existing dwelling and guest house construct a new residence, install a plunge pool, construct beach access stairs, a snowdrift fence, propose mitigation and septic system upgrade at property located at 435 Shirtlift Road, map 07, parcel 142A, and they've requested a continuance to August 12th, 2025. So if we could have a motion to approve the continuance.
Move to
So
approve the continuation to August 12th, 2025.
And is there a second?
Second,
Okay, Joanne,
yes.
Greg,
Yes.
Janet,
Yes.
and I'm a yes. Next up is continuation of notice of intent filed by Cape Holden Realty Trust. Applicant proposes to construct a new family dwelling at property located at 339 Dyer Prince Road, map 19, parcel 111, and they have requested a continuance until August 12th, 2025. So if somebody will motion to approve that,
Move to approve the continuation to August 12th, 2025.
and a second,
Second,
okay, Joanne,
yes.
Greg,
Yes.
Janet,
Yes.
and I'm a yes. And then we have the June 2024, 2025 minutes. Has everybody had a chance to review those? Any comments or
Nope.
changes? Okay, so if somebody will make a motion to approve.
Motion to approve the June minutes.
And a second?
Second.
Okay, Janet,
Yes.
Greg,
Yes.
Joanne,
Yes.
and I'm a yes. Okay, next up we have violations. So Alex, if you want to take this. Alex, we can't hear you if you're speaking.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. We did have a meeting with the court magistrate regarding 150 State Highway and the unpermitted fence. The magistrate ordered the property owner to file an after the fact administrative review to get the fence back into compliance. His deadline was this meeting. Unfortunately, that deadline was missed. And the court magistrate advised us to allow him to file for our upcoming meeting. The first meeting in August, I believe that's the August 12th meeting. We did receive a filing for the commission to consider. So that will be on the agenda on August 12th. And we have a follow-up meeting with the court magistrate on August 15th. In the meantime, the magistrate advised us that we can continue to write citations. So that has continued. So I think tonight the commission can consider how long they would like to write these citations, whether it's until the after the fact filing is approved or until the fence is in compliance. That is something the commission can consider tonight.
So if anybody would like to share their opinions on that? I've been thinking about it, and I think maybe we should wait to see what the application contains before we decide how to proceed.
Okay. And so in the meantime, we will continue with the daily fines.
It looks like Joanne had it.
Yeah, I was just going to say, if the application appears complete, or at least an attempt at being complete, we could potentially pause, not can't end or, like fully halt, but considering I believe the next meeting is what, three weeks out. I mean, we certainly could choose to pause considering that the application has been presented, and unless it looks like it's just kind of half filled out and not complete, I would say we could we could press the pause button if we wanted to offer kind of like a laurel peace offering. But I don't think I also recognize that this has been a very challenging case. And so it's really just a potential suggestion to smooth things over in a small town.
Anybody else? I haven't seen the application yet, so I'm hesitant to make changes on something I haven't looked at, given that this has been a particularly long matter.
I suppose my recommendation would be to continue issuing the citations, and the magistrate can consider them, during our next court hearing, if the commission is comfortable with that.
Works.
Okay. And as we're not actually changing anything, I don't think we need a vote here. Okay. So Brownell Road.
Brownell Road, unfortunately, we have not received any information or any contact from this property owner. So I continue to write citations for this property as well.
Okay. That's a shame. Okay, liaison reports. Janet, anything from CPA?
No, actually, the last meeting had to be canceled because they didn't have a quorum, and they don't have a meeting scheduled for August, so the next scheduled meeting will be in September. It won't be the first Wednesday, it'll be the second Wednesday in September.
And Forest Committee hasn't met yet. And let's see, Open Space is meeting next Wednesday. Open Space met. I think I lost my mind. Let me just check. Open Space met last week on the 16th. We went through progress on the OSRP, which is continuing. We just got today the results of the OSRP town survey, which we'll be discussing at our next meeting. We talked about a lot about signage of various sorts, the kiosk. We're still working on the final stages of the trailhead sign for Sandy Meadow. And I think that's kind of it. We're going to be talking about signage for the kiosk at Wiley and Nickerson a little bit further down on the agenda. And that's kind of that. The Strategic Planning Committee is meeting August 11th at 2 p.m. to review and kind of finalize the plan ahead of a select board presentation in September. We're also going to be talking about who gets assigned as liaisons to various committees that have are stakeholders to the plan with projects, and how we're going to implement and oversee the project oversee the strategic plan going forward. That's kind of where we are with that. And then education and training updates. So the Cape Cod Commission's One Cape Conference is coming up again in September. That's September 16th and 17th. Janet, Greg, Alex, Hillary, and I were all at it last year, and I think we all found it very interesting and useful. So if you are interested in attending that, please let Amy know so she can get you registered. That is 2 days of conferences. There's breakfast and lunch included both days, and you can choose to go one or both or none. Okay. Okay, and finally, the Open Space Committee is putting up kiosks at the two entrances to Wiley and Nickerson. One is probably going to go by the playground where that path starts at Wiley, and one is going to go at where the herring run is on Herringbrook Road. In that kiosk, there's going to be information about the site. There's going to be a space for natural resources to put up some notices. There's going to be information from the Forest Committee, and we're going to have some room to put up our regulations and use rules. Obviously, they go on for quite a while, and it would make sense just to include an abbreviated version with a QR code to the larger version. And I've taken a stab at producing that, something that would fit on an 11 by 14, 8.5 by 14 inch piece of paper. And you did get that in your email from Amy yesterday. And hoping for comments. I think if there, especially if there's any room to maybe shrink it down a little more, or if to make it a little more friendly, because there's a lot of no's in there. Janet, you're muted.
Sorry. You know, the meeting's just too short. We can't get into it. I thought it sounded good. I think there are a lot of issues that have to be dealt with in the sign, and it can get very complicated. I think you shrunk it down very well. I couldn't think of anything else to do to it. Maybe someone else can.
Okay. Gray?
I couldn't shrink it down. I think it covers, I mean, all the issues, the main issues we're dealing with. And I don't see how, unless you just physically abbreviate it somehow, but the issues that you raise and what people need to know is all on there.
Okay.
Like stay out of the poison ivy.
Well, that's a natural resources department thing, along with ticks, maybe.
Yeah.
Joanne, anything?
Yeah, I think I think this is well laid out. I am not a graphic designer, but I'm wondering, like, if the font looks good. It looks like it's a ADA accessible font. I'm wondering for folks with low vision, like, if there's a way. You have good white space, and white space is good, but should we try to make the words bigger for low visibility folks?
Well, yeah,
something like that, you know.
Did you print it out, or did you just look at it?
I'm looking at it on the screen.
Okay, because I did try to minimize the margins as much as possible. If we wanted it bigger, we'd have to go up to maybe a tabloid size sheet, and certainly I can request that amount of space if that's what you think it should be, because then I could definitely blow the font up. This is any bigger, and I don't think it'll fit on this size page anymore.
Yeah.
Because I did play around with it a bit, and I would like to go bigger, but I also don't think that the rules are necessary. Should be there so people can see them, but shouldn't necessarily be like huge. But
yeah, I was thinking, like, can you use pictures? You can't really use pictures like what somebody chasing wildlife, like the little icons aren't gonna come across.
I know, and if you think we should go bigger, which is something that's been in my head once I tried squeezing all this into that space. When I suggested that size at the open space meeting, I thought maybe it would work, but not to actually get it all in there in a readable way.
Yeah.
So I could ask at the next meeting to go up a size, and then I could just make everything a little bigger, including icons and stuff. You want me to do that?
I think it's fine. we can always go with this one and then update it later. I don't want to delay the process. Actually, I think that's what I would suggest. I think we should go with what you got. It looks good. And then if we can think about tweaks.
Okay, so the kiosks aren't actually installed yet.
Oh, that's right. That's true. That's true.
But if I was going to go bigger, I think I would probably stay in the same format, just get the icons a little bigger and make all the fonts bigger throughout.
Yeah. Although the white space is nice. Not to over.
Well,
yeah.
I think if we went to tabloid size, 11 by 17.
Are we allowed to do that? We're not going to get, we're not going to get in some sort of turf battle with the other commissions or departments.
I don't think so, but we can go with this size. But if they'll let me go up a size, I just want your permission maybe to do that, keeping the same format, just making it all bigger.
Yeah, I think so, because it is. I have recently had to get reading glasses, so I know when you're trying to follow the rules, but you can't read the rules. It's not.
Maybe
not
I
so
should.
fun.
Maybe I should make the QR code a bit bigger too, so that people can take that approach.
Well, if you need reading glasses, you probably don't want to use the QR code.
Well, yeah, except
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I'm always pinching my screen, or rather, flicking my screen to make the type bigger. So there is that. So are we good with this approach?
Yeah, okay. I think your idea of, let's see if we can do an 11 by 17 when we do post them with a little bit bigger, wording, but otherwise I think it looks good.
Okay.
See, Janet, I added a few more minutes onto the meeting just for you.
And I should ask Alex and Hillary, any thoughts on this?
I think overall looks pretty good. And I agree that if we were to increase the QR code size a little bit, that would make it perhaps easier to be scanned. But that's really all the input I had. I think overall it reads well. It gets the information across easily. So I like it.
Okay. So that's done. And let's see, I have something not on the agenda. I met with the select board last night at their meeting to talk about our vacancies and our quorum issues and things like that. They were very receptive. I thought they asked good questions. And so we're going to be working. We decided that additional staff help would be good to do outreach for recruiting. So we're going to be working with Kayla, who's the town's communications person, and Alex got volunteered by Jackie Beebe to meet with Kayla and me to make sure that Kayla understands what we need for this. But also, it seems like as a result of that meeting, we did get one application for our vacancies late this afternoon. So we're going to go through the process with that. Alex?
Yes, I was excited to see that application come in the mail today. And then I was just going to follow up. We had a date on the calendar with Kayla yet, or is that to be scheduled?
That's to be scheduled.
Okay.
But,
all right.
I'll probably send her off an email this week to see when we can do that.
Okay. Very good.
I'll carbon you in it.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. So yeah. But it was nice to see the application. So now there's a process for that we'll go through, and we'll see. Hopefully it'll work out. And that's all I got. Anybody have anything else?
Was the application, Karen, someone that we tried to recruit, or is this someone that we don't?
It's not someone that you or I or Alex have tried to recruit.
Okay.
So yeah, somebody new.
Okay, cool.
But it's welcome.
Excellent.
Because we have had a vacancy for a while, but yeah. Oh, and the other thing is, I did suggest to the select board that it would be helpful to us to have the option to have alternate members, like the Board of Health has and the Planning Board has, So that is a process unto itself that we would have to ask the general court to give us special legislation. So, and I hope you don't mind that I just went ahead and did this. So we're planning to put that on the 2026 town meeting agenda warrant, because that has to get approval through town meeting before we can send it off to ask for special legislation. So I said I'd work with them on that. That way, if we had alternates, it would be, they could be assigned to, a person could be assigned to a particular case, which would make it easier if somebody who is sitting on the commission needs to take some time off, or who isn't there, and we might run into quorum issues, and it might make it more accessible for somebody who isn't willing to serve. I've been asked if people could serve part-time or share seat share with somebody. So this would make it more accessible for somebody who isn't able to engage full-time as part of the commission, but will be available for this kind of process. So I don't know if it'll actually help us. I know that some of the boards have trouble filling their vacancies, but at least it is maybe an option that we can try if we actually have permission to try it. So there we are. Okay. And we are at 6:37, unless there's anything else. If we could have a motion to adjourn.
Do you want an update on the beach closures while we're all here? You might care about that.
oh yes, we would like that.
Yeah.
And then
I was just gonna say Cooks Brook is still closed, and so is South Sunken Meadow. They're both in geomean failure, which is a mathematical calculation based upon the last 5 samplings. South Sunken Meadow, we were able to open for 1 day, and then we slipped back into geomean failure. The numbers coming out of Cooks Brook have been really high for the enterococci, which is a fecal indicator. Could be from humans, could be from animals, could be from the sediment or the sand. So we're not really sure where it's coming from. Tomorrow I'm going to head out and look at an area north of Cooks Brook that someone said they thought there was a lot of stagnant water around there. So we've looked at septic systems, we've looked at stormwater, and we have no smoking guns in either case. And I haven't been out at a suitable low tide to see if the peat is back to being exposed at Cooks Brook either. So tomorrow we'll do some more investigating, but our geomean numbers are so high that it's going to take a while to get out of geomean failure. So
I do have a question. Could it
Yeah.
relate to the marsh at Sunken Meadow? Because I know it has issues, and Audubon had thought about maybe looking for grants to work on that so that there would be some increased water flow in there, and would animal or peat or nutrients stored in peat perhaps transfer from there via stormwater?
It's possible. Yes, it's definitely possible. Like I said, I'm going to look at that area north of Cooks Brook. We can look at the marsh again. We've been out in the marshes pretty recently with some folks from Audubon looking at some restoration projects. So unfortunately, if it's coming from there, that's going to take a while to remedy. I'm also thinking that some of our beach samples were taken at low tide, and the sampler had to walk out quite far. And so they don't carry a cooler with an ice pack on that walk. So I wonder if the heat and humidity and the low tide sampling was also part of the problem, but we've since had some higher tide samples, and those have come back just as bad, if not worse. So there's a lot of factors, and we're still continuing to investigate. So
no
I put
easy
that out there to
solutions.
you all. Share the information with your friends.
Yeah, there is a lot of speculation, I think, going on about what
For
is
sure.
causing this. But no easy. If it is the peat at Cooks Brook, as it seem to have been previous years.
Yep.
Is there a possibility to do some kind of restoration mitigation project?
No, probably not, because we would count on like the beach nourishment and the sand to raise the elevation of the beach to cover over the peat, but you know, it's not
Or-
the season for that. And
Mhm.
so I haven't seen the peat. So I really have to get out there at just the right tide and give it another look.
Or
I don't
some
want to
living,
rule it out until I look at it least 2 or 3 times. So.
oh, but perhaps some kind of living shoreline restoration that could build up. Well, it's probably not. There's too much
Yeah.
velocity zone there in the stormy weather to
Mhm.
see it maintained. So yeah. Okay. Just thoughts. It's a struggle for
Yeah.
people when the beaches are
I'm
closed.
open to any and all thoughts at this point. So if you think of something, let me know. Of
Okay. Thank you for the update.
course.
Okay. Okay. Anything else? Okay, so get a motion to adjourn
Move to adjourn.
and a second.
Second,
Okay, Greg,
yes.
Joanne? Joanne,
Yes.
Janet,
Yes.
and I am a yes. So good night. Thank you, everybody. See you in a couple
Night,
of weeks.
everyone.
I'll see you
Night.
tomorrow, Joanne.
Everyone.
Good night.